last year we didn't build a whole car, we redesigned a car, so it's going to be tough to get a car together this year. This is the old car. That's the new car over there, that blank
big empty space. Yeah.
Dayon Doslow and Jacob Botten are the 2008-2009 team captains for Conestoga College's Baja racing team called Team Cobra, which stands for Conestoga's Off-Road Baja Racing Association. This year, the team is heading off to Auburn, Alabama, where they will compete in the 2009 SAE Baja Series and race a car that's being built by the team. The only way that can be done is by having a full team of students who are willing and committed to taking on such tasks.
Kind of figure out where it went to. This year we had a full classroom full of people that were interested in it. But then as it kind of funnels down and they realize what is actually involved, it's not just going to drive a vehicle in the back parking lot, it's the amount of work we actually put into it. It kind of funnels down. Yeah, we get down to about 10 people that is a core group.
For the past 3 months, several students have signed on to be a part of Team Cobra. Since then, the team has been building a new car, which has been built from scratch and is just now currently a frame.
Up to date, that's an understatement. We're a little bit behind schedule. Some things haven't worked out as we hoped. We had some setbacks, but we're rolling along. Should get it done.
Work from the back forwards because front's still hot.
Sounds like they're breaking shit. You gotta hurry this up. Like city work. One guy's working, the rest are watching.
The vehicle is going to be in somewhat of a drivable shape by the end of today, and we can get it off to paint. It's going to be a long night again because we got to get everything, all the welding and stuff done before we can ship it off to paint. But we're going to have a couple days then afterwards to, it should only take a day to throw everything together, then we will have some testing time. We work so hard, it's really shitty if we don't get things done in time and we can't go. We got a lot to do. It's great to have it painted now. It was a long night to get it painted. We hoped to just, maybe we thought it would be a late night, get a couple things done, get the most of the welding done. Well, once we started welding, we realized how much welding it actually was. And I welded nonstop for 12 hours, just continuing to get it done. All the little tabs that had just been tacked on, and you needed to weld them. And you get done the vehicle, and you look back and you go, oh crap, there's more.
The painting has been completed and the car has been put back together. The final touches that need to be completed, though, aren't small projects by any means, which now forces the team to work non-stop until the day Team Cobra heads off. Team Cobra left the college at 8:30 this morning, and after a long drive down I-75 through Michigan, Ohio, and Kentucky, it's now just after 9:30 and the team has decided to pack it in for the night at a Walmart parking lot.
Well, we've been pretty strained for time to get everything done, so we're on our way down right now. We're in Kentucky, on the border between Tennessee, and we're just trying. There's lots to do. We've kind of been postponing everything slowly. The things that we know we can do in the trailer or when we're at the site. So the drivers right now are sleeping, so we can keep on going in the morning because we've been driving all day, and the rest of the crew, because we have been sleeping all day, we can get to work all night, and we'll work underneath the street lights and get some work done on the vehicle. Right now, when we actually got the vehicle to test before we loaded it up, it wouldn't shift. So we knew we had to tear the whole back end apart and get the transmission open so we can actually figure that out. And now in doing that, we've fixed that problem, but we're missing parts now. So we have to look, we're tearing it all apart again to look through to make sure we have all the parts. And if we don't have all the parts, then we're going to have to panic again tomorrow and make sure we find a fastening place somewhere where we can buy the nuts and bolts that we need.
After finding all the right parts, the team then put the whole back end of the car together and fixed the shifter. But Team Cobra then questioned themselves whether to test the vehicle or not.
It's a good thing to do, and we probably want to. It just depends what the transmission's like, because once we get on site, we can't really drive it, so we need to actually have some testing time. It is kind of late at night, and you don't really want to drive around too much because we don't want to wake everyone up because there's tons of people camping around us. But we need to get some driving time, so we'll hopefully get out if the vehicle works.
Good, it runs.
After a long night in a Walmart parking lot in Williamsburg, Kentucky, Team Cobra packed up and had a quick sleep before heading off to Alabama in the morning.
So we'll definitely be there by 2, which is when registration starts. So it's a long drive, but we're finally almost there.
After making a quick rest stop, once they entered Alabama, Team Cobra drove the rest of the way until they finally reached Auburn University, where they set up camp. Once everyone was settled in and camp was set up, the boys then headed down the hill for registration. After a few minor setbacks, Team Cobra was finally registered and ready for competition.
Jim.
Okay. Spectators.
The sticker that you get to say that you passed tech is 3 parts to it. The first part was what we're doing right now is Briggs and Stratton test, and that was to set the engine to make sure it's all set up right.
Team Cobra went for the first engine test, but ran out of gas during the middle of it. The tech inspector then sent the team away to fill up their car before trying the engine test again. The boys filled up the car, which led them back to attempt number 2, resulting in car number 76 getting the first of 3 stickers.
Up or down?
Once the celebration was over after receiving the first sticker, the boys then pushed the car back up the hill to their camp. Team Cobra then worked tirelessly until just after 1 in the morning making final adjustments before tomorrow's tech and design test. It's just after 7:30 and the boys are making final adjustments to the car before the team heads off for the morning inspections.
They wanted to see the vehicle fully complete, all ready for safety, so we couldn't get through that. We knew we couldn't get through that, so we just stayed back here and kept on working. We had a lot of little things that all came up. You just keep on looking at the vehicle, you're doing something and you realize something else is broken or it's going to bend and break.
After the team was shocked by the weight of their car, the next thing in order for Team Cobra was the design test. Deon and Jacob answered numerous questions as various inspectors walked around the tent, asking all sorts of questions regarding the whole vehicle.
One guy came over to talk about braking, which is a relatively simple thing, and we could easily talk about it. And another guy came in like 5 minutes later to talk about suspension. And Deon was already talking about braking, where I had to talk about suspension. And I'm not a design person. I really don't know suspension. So all I could do was bullshit and try to pull a couple numbers out that I thought I knew. And this guy knows a lot more than me, and he knows that, so it looks stupid.
Team Cobra placed 52nd overall in the design competition, which didn't come as a surprise. The boys then waited a few hours before number 76 was called for their tech inspection.
Can you wait on that? Well, essentially you can't pass tech until you have it done, but you can go through tech.
The first inspector didn't give the team great news, as he had to deduct 20 points off their final score, as some documents the team had with them were incorrect. Deon and Jacob both figured out the mess, then continued on with the final step of the tech inspection. Two inspectors checked the whole car from top to bottom and noticed some minor things that forced the team to retake the test Saturday morning.
It's going to be a busy day, so we need to get a lot of sleep tonight because we have to, the retest, hopefully we can get through pretty quickly because they're just looking at a couple things saying, yep, great, sign it off, and keep on going. And we have to push it all the way over to brake test, which is again a relatively quick thing if the vehicle is set up right. So we'll have 4 events to go through with 2 runs each. So there's 8 runs plus braking plus retech. There's a lot to do tomorrow.
It was a long day of waiting and competing, which led the team to repairing the car in the evening. Just after 10 o'clock, though, the team decided that was it and called it a night. It's the 3rd day that Team Cobra is in Alabama, and now a very busy day lies ahead of them. After a quick check of the vehicle, the team finally received the Pass Tech sticker, which allowed them to move on to the brake test. 2 attempts later, Team Cobra drove away with the final sticker, which was the brake test event. After passing that, everyone walked through the woods while Deon drove to a new area where 2 new events for them to compete in was waiting for them. The first event was the traction pull. The basis around this event is for the vehicle to pull an off-terrain vehicle while driving on all different sorts of ground, which includes large rocks and little stones. Once that event was completed, Jacob performed in the acceleration event. What Team Cobra had to do for this event was start at the starting line of a straight track and drive to the finish line while going as fast as they could. Both the traction and acceleration events were completed, but Team Cobra still had 2 more events to finish. Driving a mile later, the boys reached the maneuverability and suspension event. The car seemed to take the maneuverability event with some ease, but the suspension track was deemed the most grueling event so far. Team Cobra was successful on the first attempt at the suspension event, but the second time was a whole other story. After Deon got stuck in a ditch during the second run, most of Saturday night was spent repairing whatever was needed to be repaired before race day.
Watch out, one on the right.
It's now Sunday morning, which means today is Endurance Event Day. This competition involves all cars from every school racing around a 10-minute track and trying to gain as many laps as possible in a 4-hour span. The start of the race was supposed to be at 9:30, but due to an incoming storm, the race is now at 8:30. Team Cobra made final repairs, and then Dayon drove the car over to start the race. After breaking an important piece of the vehicle, this force number